Hello everyone, this is Mr. Zilich, and this video is going to talk about the midpoint and distance formulas in relation to the coordinate plane. So first off, we have two formulas that we need to worry about. First is the midpoint, and this is going to show us the exact middle point in between two given points. So this formula is x1 plus x sub 2 divided by 2, comma, y sub 1 plus y sub 2 divided by 2. And again, like I said, this is going to give us a nice middle point in between two given points. Let's label this first point P1, and let's give it a coordinate of x1, comma, y1. Let's label the second point P2, and coordinates are x sub 2, y sub 2. And so we're going to draw a nice little line segment here. Imagine that is perfectly straight. And by plugging these values into this formula, we're going to get a nice midpoint. The midpoint gives us the exact middle of this line segment. So the segment or the distance from P1 to the midpoint is going to be exactly the same as the distance between the midpoint and P2. It's going to be very beneficial coming forward. Next is the distance formula, and this is going to be D equals the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 quantity squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared. And once again, we're going to work with this when we have two given points with a very straight line in between. And this is going to figure out what the length of this segment is. And so this length will be D. So moving on now, we're going to do a nice little example showing you the relationship between the midpoint formula and the distance formula. And so we're going to start out with a nice little example. Draw ourselves a graph here. And our scale is going to be 1, and so this will be 4. This will be -4, -4, and 4 up top. So first we're going to work with the midpoint formula, which again is going to be x sub 1 plus x sub 2 divided by 2, comma, y sub 1 plus y sub 2 divided by 2. So plugging in, first we need some points. So our first point that we're going to work with will be point A, and that will be at -2, 1, which eyeballing it will be right around there. And this is going to be A. And our second point will be point B, and this will be at 4, 2, or 4, 2, and that's right around there. So we're going to draw a nice line in between the two of these. And now we're going to find the midpoint between A and B. So using this formula at the top right of your screen, we're going to plug these values in. For A, which again is -2, -1, and B is 4, 2. So plugging in, we are going to get -2 plus 4 over 2, comma, -1 plus 2 over 2. And this is going to simplify to 2 over 2, comma, 1/2. And even furthermore, simplify to 1, 1/2. And this right here is going to be our midpoint. Remember, coordinates are always in the x, y form. And so now we can take this point and look at our graph. And so if I take the point 1, 1/2, I go over 1, up 1/2, and lucky enough, our point is on the line. And so this point right here is the midpoint. And just eyeballing it, seems like A to M, then M to B are decently alike, at least by a hand sketch. So this is showing you the midpoint formula. Next, we are going to dive in to the distance formula, trying to find the distance between points A and point B. And we're going to use the formula that has been given to us on the previous example. And that is going to be, once again, d equals the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 quantity squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 quantity squared. So again, plugging in these values that we have for a and b, we're going to get d equals the square root of 4 minus a negative 2 quantity squared plus 2 minus a negative 1 quantity squared. Simplifying this, we are going to get 4 plus 2 quantity squared plus 2 plus 1 quantity squared. Simplifying, we'll get 6 squared plus 3 squared. D is going to equal 36 plus 9. Again, we're just taking the squares of 6 and 3. This is going to equal the square root of 45. And even if we want to simplify that, we can get that to 3 square root 5. And this number is just about 6.71. So now looking back at the top of our page here at the graph, we can kind of see, just judging by kind of counting, that this is going to be around 6 to 7, and kind of as we got down here, closer to 7 with the 6.71. But the exact distance between point A and point B is going to be 3 square root of 5. Thank you, and this is always a Mr. Zillage production. Have a good day.